Protests against corporate greed and social inequality are being held in cities across the world in what organisers of the Occupy Wall Street movement have described as 24 hours of public action. These are the most recent pictures from Asia. Demonstrators have gathered in Tokyo, where the ongoing nuclear crisis dominates public concern. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, protesters against capitalism have been marching through the streets with banners reading "Solidarity Action for Occupy Wall Street." In the capital, Taiwan, people are demonstrating. They're upset about wage cuts and high unemployment. And in Australia, Melbourne and Sydney, activists there have been protesting against corporate greed and social inequality. Well, all of these protests follow in the footsteps of Occupy Wall Street, which has seen demonstrators camped out in New York's financial district for the past 4 weeks. From there, Sky's Hannah Thomas-Peter reports.
Nearly a month in, and the Occupy Wall Street protesters aren't shifting. This tiny patch of downtown Manhattan, now home to some 600 people, even if the autumn weather makes it hard going. But why they're here depends on who you talk to.
I'm here to show people that consumerism is not a sustainable way of life and that this nation is drunk on it.
I think it's just joining a force that's finally fighting the environmental and social injustices that have gone on for way too long.
The banks have overwhelming influence in Washington, and people need more representation.
Its aims may not be defined yet, but the movement is united in discontent, and for many, that's about jobs. Christopher Reed lost his, couldn't find another, and feels let down by the government.
If I go broke, they don't bail me out. If I'm in, foreclosure, I lost my home, they didn't come and say, "Hey, Chris, we don't want you to lose your home. We want to keep you going, so we're going to bail you out." So my house is gone.
We are the 99%. That's the rallying cry here about wealth inequality, and it's become a powerful part of the message.
We'll be occupying everything, occupying all around the world, all around the country.
Live web chats and Twitter feeds, all part of the strategy to keep this protest in the spotlight.
This may be a leaderless movement, but the people at Occupy Wall Street have tapped into a deep sense of anger that life for ordinary Americans, by many measures, isn't getting better. It's inspired protests across the country.
Los Angeles is just one city where that's happened. Boston, Chicago, Washington and Seattle have all followed suit.
So it's not just America.
And global protests are planned today, encouraging signs for volunteers in New York.
It's creating that dialogue in America that's been so sorely missing for so long. And that dialogue and that conversation, that greater conversation of what is wrong with this system. And then, after you figure that out, then you can figure out solutions.
Some have compared Occupy Wall Street to the civil rights movement. Others say it's a Tea Party coalition for the left. Those involved resist labels. All they know is that however the global economy's working, it isn't for them. Hannah Thomas-Peter, Sky News, New York.
All those protests there in America have spread to the city of London today. This in central London, the London Stock Exchange. A number of campaign organisations, including UK Uncut, saying they're supporting this occupation, they're calling it, of the heart of the capital's financial centre. The Occupy London Stock Exchange Collective set up a Facebook page, various other social media sites. 5,000, they say, confirmed attendees, but our people on the ground saying that about 400 at the moment. Hard to tell, though, which are just bystanders. And another correspondent saying mattresses, a common sight there, may mean a long demonstration ahead. We will keep across that in the city and bring you any developments.